And that's the problem. When you're going through good times, you don't need to show faith, because what? Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things unseen. So if I got money, I ain't gonna worry about getting money. I gotta show faith if I govern good times. But it's through bad times. That's when you use the faith you have, so it shows through your works. You understand that? The same concept of, if I love someone, you will see, or they will know we are Christians by our love, because you see the way I treat people. The same thing with faith. If I have this, then I use it. And if I get fired from my job and all of a sudden my marriage falling apart, I start feeling like a man XYZ, then I have no faith. I'm sick, I can't take care of myself the same way. I don't feel like I want to live, then I have no faith, and I give the devil permission to kill me. That won't call over, I gotta go. God, I pray to you, bless us, God, protect us, help us in all things, Heavenly Father, to understand that we need faith. And faith is not something that you have, dear Heavenly Father. It's something that you show, it's something that you work at, it's something, dear Heavenly Father, that those who love God can see in you. In Jesus Christ, let me pray. Amen.
The views expressed on this program are not the views of ZNS TV 13, and by extension, the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
What's trending? Lifestyles in the afternoon. What's trending? Lifestyles in the afternoon.
What's trending? Lifestyles in the afternoon.
What's trending? Lifestyles in the afternoon. What's trending? Lifestyles in the afternoon.
What's trending? Lifestyles in the afternoon. Coming this fall on the ZNS Network.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up in the Bahamas tonight, the weekend edition, a male gunned down in broad daylight. A local giant in healthcare remembered. 2 cities, 1 history. In sports, highlights from the primary school basketball tournament. The Bahamas Tonight, the weekend edition starts now. Welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the weekend edition. Good evening, I'm Desmond Saunders. Thank you so much for joining us. A brazen, broad daylight, deadly shooting taking the life of a 21-year-old male late Saturday afternoon. Detectives say the victim was standing in front of his home on 1st Street, Coconut Grove, Palm Tree Avenue, when 2 gunmen exited a small silver Japanese car, opening fire on the victim. The male was shot multiple times about the body. Police Press Liaison Officer, Chief Superintendent Chrisling Skippings.
We are investigating and we are following significant leads into this latest incident. I can say to you that the victim was on bail for possession of unlicensed firearm with intent to endanger life on 4 counts. He was also on bail for possession of an unlicensed firearm and for possession of ammunition. We are also investigating, and we make our appeal as usual to those persons who live in this area and to persons who may have seen a small silver Japanese vehicle leaving this area at a high rate of speed. We're asking you to reach out to the men and women of the Criminal Investigations Department.
Enraged over the level of violence on our streets, officer in charge of the Grove Police Station, Dr. Chaswell Hanna, says his organization continues to accelerate its efforts at reducing the spate of homicides in the country.
This hits very close home to us because we have a strong relationship with members in this community, and that is one of the reasons why crime has been trending down in this area. But needless to say, this is another clear example of the boldness and intent on persons who refuse to abide by the law. Our strategies are comprehensive in nature, not only enforcement, but prevention. But as I always say, there's another dynamic to this that is outside of the police hands. We are going to do our part with enforcement and placing these persons before the court.
Police arresting 3 young males and 3 females in the area of Wolf Road and Cumberbatch Alley around 1 a.m. this morning for an illegal firearm that contained a quantity of ammunition. The suspects were all passengers in a gray Honda Accord that was traveling at a high rate of speed when they were stopped by police. Investigations continue. Well, the Organization for Responsible Governance applauding government's move to table the much talked about ombudsman bill in Parliament. The organization's executive director, Matt Aubrey, calling it a significant step towards a more transparent, accountable, and equitable governance structure in the country. An ombudsman serves as a mediator, ensuring that the rights of people and businesses are safeguarded. Other news for you tonight: amending the country's laws as it relates to having an abortion is not among the matters topping the government's legislative agenda at this time. That, according to Acting Press Secretary Keisla Adderley. However, she says the matter could be pushed to the forefront depending on the outcry from members of the public on the issue. Just last week, a local gynecologist was arraigned in the magistrate's court accused of performing an abortion on a 15-year-old girl last month. The doctor was charged along with the girl's mother and sister. According to the laws of the Bahamas, abortion is illegal, with the perpetrators facing a prison term of up to 10 years.
Obviously, the issue was in the news lately because of some unfortunate circumstances. But if the outcry is, reaches the level where the administration feels that it should be pushed to the forefront and a wider conversation should be had, then the government will be minded to do so and engage all of the relevant stakeholders on the issue.
Adley also weighed in on the issue of a commission of inquiry being opened.
The prospect of a commission of inquiry is still a proposal. There hasn't been any confirmation as to whether that will actually take place. My understanding is that depending on what ongoing police investigations are able to uncover, a determination will be made as to whether a commission of inquiry will be necessary. The COVID-19 pandemic and matters related to that, for example, are under investigation. The Bahamas, not unlike many countries of the world, are doing similar probes.
A giant in the local healthcare industry and founder of the National HIV and AIDS program in the Bahamas has died. Condolences pouring in over the passing of former Minister of Health, Dr. Perry Gomez. The former physician is credited for decreasing HIV transmission rates in the Bahamas. He served as chief of medicine and consultant physician at the Princess Margaret Hospital. He was president of the Medical Association of the Bahamas from 1986 to 1987. He was appointed by former Prime Minister Perry Christie to chair a Blue Ribbon Commission that investigated and designed the National Health Insurance Scheme in 2006. Gomez was recently recognized nationally for his contributions towards health care, receiving the Order of the Bahamas Companion Medal of Honor at Government House. Dr. Gomez's medical career has been dedicated to addressing the healthcare needs of the Bahamians. A statement released from Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis notes that the nation mourns a loss of a warrior in public health and a true son of the Bahamian soil. Dr. Gomez's life epitomized a very spirit of selflessness, commitment, and passion for the health and well-being of our people. He added that for over 3 decades, Gomez spearheaded efforts that not only transformed the landscape of public health in the Bahamas, but also reverberated across the Caribbean and the world. Progressive Liberal Party Chairman Fred Mitchell spoke to ZNS News about his legacy.
As a doctor, when it was unpopular and difficult to be part of the solution to the HIV and AIDS epidemic in the Bahamas and the world and the Caribbean region, he jumped in with both feet, sacrificed much of his practice in order to get on top of that issue in the Bahamas. He did pioneering work. He was honored for that pioneering work across the Caribbean and across the world. He was a stellar intellect, solid Anglican. He's the brother of our friend and Archbishop Gomez, and he'll just be missed for his great contribution to our Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
Chairman of the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas, Paiswell Forbes, served alongside Dr. Gomez in the House of Assembly as the Member of Parliament for Central and South Andros from 2012 to 2017. Mr. Forbes is saddened by the loss of Dr. Gomez, whom he describes as a decent man and a national hero.
Dr. Gomez never got caught up in the cut and thrust of politics and fabricating stories and misleading his people. He gave you the bare bone truth with that wry smile. What a decent son we lost today. Honest to the fault. A national hero, a friend and a brother to the communities of Andros and the Berry Islands, and by extension to the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
We are New Life Natural Company Limited, and we have actually been in the community for now 13 years, serving in the health field. Our diets is probably one of the most poorest diets actually in the Caribbean, and we are really low in the world. As a result of our diet, we are actually inheriting all of these different diseases. So we need to kind of like shift the way how we eat and shift it to eating more healthier food. So we at New Life here, we are trying to change the paradigms. We are actually introducing tasty, healthy options. And so hopefully this SPDC initiative will actually create the awareness, help us to have an understanding of what we are doing, why we are doing it, and help us to begin to shift this paradigm of proper eating, proper dieting, and proper fitness. So our motto is eat well, be well, and let your food be your medicine.
For more information about the Fitness and Wellness Initiative, contact the SPDC at 461-7232.
With the help of our authorized financial institutions, or AFIs, using sand dollars is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Step 1. Identify your preferred AFI by browsing their websites or contacting them directly. Step 2. Download the free mobile application from Google Play or the Apple Store and then register for a Sand Dollar account. Step 3. Load money onto your mobile app and begin sending and receiving Sand Dollars or purchasing and selling goods and services.
We are pleased to be
your Central Bank approved
digital wallet providers. It does not matter
which of us you choose.
You can pay for goods and services
wherever Sand Dollar is accepted.
We are all in this together. Visit sanddollar.bs for more information.
Good to grow. Keeping you in the know. Keeping you in the know. Cause if it's good enough to eat, then it's good to grow. It's good enough to eat, then it's good to grow.
Discussions on cannabis took center stage last week as leaders from across the region and members of the public gathered under one roof at the Caribbean Week of Agriculture 2023, held at the Super Club Breezes Resort. Agriculture and Marine Resources Minister Jomo Campbell says it was an enlightening experience.
I think what happens far too often is, we discuss things and then we come back and we talk to people or we tell the people this is what we have discussed and this is the way forward. But last night, what we had was an opportunity to hear from everyone, hear their points of view. Not everyone who came supported cannabis medicinally or even scientifically, but it's good to have their input because at the end of the day, we are government for the people. All of my colleagues here represent the government from their home countries and represent their citizens. And so last night was the launch of something truly exciting.
And of all the opinions presented, Minister Campbell says this perspective stuck to him the most.
One of our panelists, Ms. Ashpole from Jamaica, made it quite clear that whilst we are getting caught up in the excitement of it all being a new industry and we're now able to benefit from something that was pretty much taboo. We can't forget the whole intellectual property aspect of it. If we're going to be exporting medicinal marijuana that was grown in Eleuthera, those farmers in Eleuthera have rights to what is going to be exported to Canada, to US, to Switzerland, because these things will be marketed and used for profit, for economic gain. There's so many byproducts that can be used. People just tend to think about the fun recreational part of it, but the hemp byproducts. So we want to ensure that our farmers, our business persons who are getting into this industry don't miss them. We don't want this to be seen as something where only the high and mighty will benefit. As people tend to think it's normally the case with anything that takes place, but we want persons to understand that the traditional farmers, the traditional entrepreneurs too have a stake in this industry.
He also emphasizes the importance of collaboration within the region in this vein.
One of the panelists, Minister Saboto Caesar, indicated that sometimes as smaller nations we flex our muscles and then bigger nations flex back. But if we all flex collectively, there's strength in unity, and I think that's a key takeout of this week of agriculture sessions.
Keeping you in the know with Good to Grow, I'm Leah Cooper.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Folk Call Smart Pass, the smart way to pay at the pump.
Welcome back. Well, it started with a $25 million heads of agreement signed between developer Robert Coughlin and government in March of this year. And now the businessman is forging ahead with his plan for a touristic venture that appeals to nature lovers and with minimal disruption to the natural environment. Cleopatra Murphy has a story.
It's a work in progress, but within 3 years, Big Samson Key will be transformed with the addition of the multi-million-dollar environmentally friendly Turtlegrass Resort and Island Club, a self-funded venture by businessman Robert Coughlin. Minister of State for Environment and Natural Resources, the Honorable Zane Lightbourne, Department of Environmental Health officials, and the media toured the 121-acre property Friday that Coughlin says will see the addition of infrastructure within the next 15 months. Cottages that will total 22 rooms, an artist studio, industrial dock at the back of the island, and an upgraded marina, among other amenities ultimately. Coughlin says sustainability will be a guiding principle for the project that will use about 15 of the more than 100 acres purchased.
It'll be 100% solar on normal days. It's not realistic that when you have 3 cloudy days, you might not need a generator, but we want to put enough capacity in so that we're not needing much fuel on the island, that we're generating our own water, of course, on the island. Right now we're capturing water and getting some from wells. And we want to do a lot of planting of gardens, and both fruit and vegetable gardens, to make sure that when people come, they can experience locally grown food.
Architect for the Turtlegrass Resort, Lauren Mitchell, says respect for the environment will be considered throughout, adding the scale of the project will reflect the balance between the natural and built space.
The first set of cottages that we're building are all wood frame, simple structures. We're not doing anything like too outside of the box. We're not bringing an architectural language here that doesn't belong. And I think by doing that alone, by staying consistent with the architectural character of the Bahamas, that is, sustainable. Because we're trying to create a place that these buildings get folded into the environment. They don't pull away from the beauty of the environment.
Following a presentation on the development, Lightbourne welcomed the initiative that will employ 60 Bahamians during construction and about 20 full-time staff.
The Prime Minister is leading the way as the voice of this country all around the world, speaking about sustainable development, about mitigating the effects of climate change, about all of our using our resources in a way where the future generations can benefit. And this is definitely a development that we encourage.
Environmentalist Eric Carey believes the project makes sense for the Bahamas and Exuma, adding that not all developments need to be large scale.
We're in a place where this is what we should be talking about. We should be looking at creating the types of experiences that people will want to come to and feel that they're in a place that respects the sense of that place.
Once complete, Hawthorne expects to have spent anywhere between $60 to $75 million on the three-phase project. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Cleopatra Murphy.
Could Bradenton, Florida, and Red Bay, Andros become sister cities? Well, that's a big question floating around following the 4th annual Back to Angola Festival. It's an event which celebrates the slave and Seminole settlers of the historic Angola Maroon community who later fled to what is now known as a settlement of Red Bay, Andros. This year's festival saw 2 scores of descendants making the journey from Andros to their ancestral origins of Bradenton to celebrate the occasion. In attendance was Bradenton Mayor Jean Brown, who spoke of our differences and similarities.
It's about celebrating who we are, and even though each day in the Bahamas and Bradenton we do different things day to day, but then you bring these festivals together to celebrate it.
Also in attendance was State Councilwoman for the area, Lisa Gonzalez Moore. When asked about her thoughts on building a sister city relationship, this is what she had to say.
I would love to see that happen. My personal, just as a resident, again, I mean, currently I'm representing the city in this particular area, but as a resident of the city, I would love to see an expansion of connections to our ancestors and also our family outside of our city. To me, that's the way that the future is going. If you want to make for a collective better future, you have to understand those ties and develop them and honor them and celebrate them.
And a renewed interest in preserving the historic settlement of Red Bays following a celebration of its historic beginnings over the weekend. Minister of State for Housing and Urban Renewal, the Honorable Lisa Ramming, expressing hope for officials to one day partner with creators of the Back to Angola Festival, Oak Tree Community Outreach Incorporated, in preserving the artifacts and history of Red Bays.
The history is dying out. The 4th generation is there now. What should we do? We can't allow them all just to go and don't have it written in stone. And so the next time, we should be giving you the invite to come to the Bahamas. You're not going to give me the invite. So we want to see all of you to come on down and enjoy our good Bahamian atmosphere as we preserve and restore and preserve and restore Red Bay.
The Ministry of Foreign Affairs celebrating 50 years of foreign relations in an independent Bahamas with the start of Diplomatic Week today. Officials commencing the week in church this morning at St. Francis Xavier Catholic Church, West Street. The week of activities begins tomorrow at Baha Mar Cable Beach with an official address by United Nations Secretary General, a closed-door panel discussion, and a naming ceremony for the George Patrick Stewart Library will also take place. The week of activities ends Thursday, October 26.
In case you missed the news or want to stay ahead, subscribe to our YouTube channel or follow us on X, TikTok, Instagram, or Facebook.
Introducing the Focal Smart Pass app that helps you to fuel up faster. Here's how it works. Download the app on the App Store or get it on Google Play and create your profile with payment details. Visit your nearest Shell station, open the app, scan the pump's QR code, select your payment amount, and begin fueling. Say goodbye to cash and cards because the Focal Smart Pass offers secure and convenient payment options right at your fingertips. Download Focal Smart Pass now and fuel up faster today.
For hurricane season, we got impact windows and doors. For protection, just come to our store. Plus we got tiles to pretty up your walls and your floors. We'll help you brighten up for that big bad storm. Porcelain tiles, blank tiles, mosaic tiles, a variety of styles. Big 14s get right, they gotta be rough. That's why we got the best deals in the whole Bahamas. Hey, hey.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
ZNS Total Sports brought to you by Sans Beer, who reminds you to recycle your beer bottles for cash in Nassau, Grand Bahama, and now Abaco and Eleuthera.
Good evening, everybody. It's time for Sports Sunday. I'm Charles Fisher. Hope you had a great day so far. The Temple Christian School Primary Basketball Tournament wrapping up Friday over at the school's gym on Collins Avenue. In the championship game, Mini Division boys, Temple Christian in the yellow uniforms defeated Centerville Primary 12-7. In the primary girls division, Telliers in the all-blue outfit, they got by Temple Christian 9-4. And in the primary boys division, Kingsway Academy and Jordan Prince Will battled to the last second, with Kingsway nipping Prince Will by just a point, 14-13. Afterwards, Temple Christian's principal handed out the medals and trophies to the runners-up and winning teams. With the tournament in the history books, hard-working organizer and coach Keno Demerit says 13 years later, the tournament is still fulfilling its original intent.
Definitely the tournament is a success. It is a preseason tournament, so basically what we're using it for is to gear up and see where our kids, what and where they need to go from this point on. So what I'm seeing here is a lot of great stuff from all the schools. We have seen improvements from everybody with their dribbling, their ball handling, their passing, their layups. So it is a success to see the kids, them improving every day.
He also mentioned what he'd like to see improve.
What we would really love for the fans to come out to support, to support the little kids, because these kids are the future of basketball.
And the first ever William Knucklehead Johnson Cross Country Invitational held Saturday at the Blue Hills Golf Course. Over 600 runners from schools and clubs taking part. Organizer Rupert Gardner indicating that the turnout says a lot.
Yes, to show that the clubs and the school wants cross country because, we a little lag on our distance program. And it tells you that we could go now recruit distance program because now you have distance runners came from Abaco and, all over the Bahamas at different schools like you have like the CV Bethel and the GHS and St. Augustine College and, even the junior high school like L.W. Young. They're out in force.
And the Don Knowles Primary School Soccer Tournament extended after rain hampered play this week. President Latoya Sturp on moving forward.
The tournament right now has been extended to the end of the second week of November, because we have put them into divisions, under 12, under 10, and we have a festival for U8. That's under 8.
And that's it for Sports Sunday. Thanks for watching, everybody. Let's have a great week ahead.
ZNS Total Sports brought to you by Sans Beer, who reminds you to recycle your beer bottles for cash in Nassau, Grand Bahama, and now Abaco and Eleuthera.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
The ball is back, and the ball is the Red Ribbon Ball, the 27th annual Red Ribbon Ball in aid of the Bahamas AIDS Foundation. And the theme this year is 1001 Arabian Nights.
Zaymer is a proud supporter of the AIDS Foundation and the Red Ribbon Ball. Over the years, we found that what we do best creates an atmosphere for people to open up their pocket.
Well, at John Bull, we believe in the work of the AIDS Foundation. I've been told whenever you see that little blue bag, it brings excitement. Well, we're going to have lots of blue bags at this year's Red Ribbon Ball, and we have no doubt that it will be fabulous.
So at Alive Business, we're extremely excited to be a part of the Red Ribbon Ball once again this year, and that we're able to contribute $10,000 towards the success of this program.
As Commonwealth Brewery, we're more than proud to partner with the Bahamas AIDS Foundation. We're going to provide our best wines to entertain and bring the right atmosphere to the group.
So we at Wildflowers are thrilled that the ball is back, and we're very excited to be able to contribute to this event by decorating the Arabian Nights more beautiful than ever before.
This is a very important issue, and we've been talking about it for years, and we have allowed a predominant impetus. I call it greed. That's my word. We've allowed that to mandate how things are not done.
and we are paying a price.
Climate change affects us all, and North Eleuthera High School head girl Kezia Johnson sought to bring awareness to scores of young public primary and high school students at the recent inaugural Climate Change Guardians workshop hosted by UNESCO.
What can the youth do to mitigate climate change? Well, there is a myriad of ways we can reduce our carbon footprints, and they can include conserving energy, decreasing the use of paper and plastic, and the proper disposal of waste. So instead of purchasing 4 bottles every day of water at the tuck shop and then tossing them into the trash, purchase a reusable bottle, preferably a metal one that keeps your water cool all day. Another way of reducing our waste is through composting. Composting is the process of recycling organic matter, such as, like you mentioned, fruit and vegetable scraps, coffee grounds and paper filters, tea leaves and bags, along with egg shells are all foods that are used when composting. And compost enhances our soil and hosts a vast amount of species. Essentially, chlorofluorocarbons, when released, damage our ozone layers by placing holes in the layer, allowing harmful ultraviolet rays to enter. So using ceiling fans is a better option in the long run to save electricity and limit the amount of CFCs that are released.
I'm Adama Williams for Ed Talk.
Hello, everyone. This is Tony Williams back with a special promotion from BahamasAir.com and GoGo Florida. The $100 deposit is back, but it's only on your debit card. So whether you're renting that sedan, SUV, or spacious minivan for group or family trips, keep your cash in your pocket. Only Dollar Thrifty is making it convenient for you. Your $100 deposit held on your debit card. Available at Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Palm Beach, and Orlando. Book early and save your 8-passenger minivan for your holiday shopping spree.
Taking a look now at your forecast. Low-level moisture will continue to support clouds. However, drier air at the mid to upper levels will limit deep convection and reduce chances of rain in the northwest and central Bahamas tonight. A frontal boundary position across the southeast Bahamas will support some spotty showers for the northwest and central Bahamas. Weather is expected to be mostly fair and mild tonight. Winds variable 10 knots or less in the northwest Bahamas, while northeasterly 10 to 15 knots in the central Bahamas. Seas are 2 to 4 feet over the ocean, but up to 5 feet in moderate easterly swells. In the southeast Bahamas, you can expect a few thunderstorms. However, tomorrow, a dry air mass will limit the chance of rain in the northwest and central Bahamas, while a surface trough and available low-level moisture will support sporadic periods of light to moderate showers in the southeast. And on a good note, residents can expect breezier conditions starting tomorrow. Well, Fort Charlotte, the new venue for this year's International Food Festival, now underway. This year's event commemorating the country's 50th independence anniversary celebrations. Exquisite cuisine and culinary delights from over 40 countries showcased at this year's International Food Festival, Fort Charlotte. A signature event uniting cultures, highlighting a diverse range of culinary offerings. This year's event, a rave for scores of patrons and vendors.
We have all the famous Filipino chicken and pork barbecue and noodles and fried rice and all egg rolls and spring rolls.
Chicha Morada, that's like a purple corn drink, a moliente, like a bush tea, sodas, food, from pork chop to grilled chicken to, that's like a fried rice dish, but it's Peruvian.
The chicken cylinder, the smoky flavor, you got to cook that kind of dish with a heart, You can't just throw it in there. You got to watch it. Manager Cole, spin it around. We got a little bit of everything. We have the beers, we got the wines, we have lasagna, pizza, pastas.
Public Relations Manager of the International Food Festival, Kendany Campbell-Moss.
This is our 26th year in existence, and we are doing it in grand style. We had a reenactment earlier this evening. We just want to make sure that everybody has a good time, and it's good, clean fun.
Sure had a great time out there yesterday. Well, that does it for the Bahamas Tonight, the weekend edition. We thank you for continuing to make ZNS your first choice for news and information. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. On behalf of the entire team, thank you so much for watching. Good night.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
This 21st century,